The idea that a global epidemic with a death toll of over 50 million has been forgotten seems ludicrous considering how widespread its effects were at the time. But what's odd about this situation is how little of a historical mark this ravaging sickness left. It seemed to vanish fast into a distant memory. At the moment, it undoubtedly felt like a sledgehammer strike. The World War I soldiers who were confined to the trenches had developed a severe form of the influenza virus, which they brought home with them. It was a terrible send-off from that bloody conflict. Even though epidemiologists have never been able to pinpoint the virus' origin, each affected area blamed it on someone or something else. Thus the name Spanish flu was given. This flu was particularly severe. Most flu epidemics have a mortality rate of 0.1%, meaning 1 out of every 1,000 infected persons dies. In 1918, the mortality rate worldwide was 20%, 1 out of every 5. Badly affected victims would hemorrhage from the nose, stomach, and intestines. Unusually, the fit and young were hardest hit. This is partially explained by the older population's resilience. Survivors of a previous flu epidemic in 1889 to 1890 had partial protection. Another element was the way the Spanish flu killed. It led to cytokine storms, which are immune system overreactions that wreak havoc on the body. The reactivity intensifies as immune system strength increases. The death of the young only increased the pandemic's spiraling economic and demographic costs because there were fewer healthy caregivers left to care for the sick. Public authorities were overburdened because many of the best health and sanitation employees were among the injured. There were more sick people than any country's healthcare system could handle. Even worse off were countries lacking well-organized hospital systems. 3 to 5% of the world's population perished from Peru to the Arctic Circle as a result of the virus over an 18-month period. However, there aren't many monuments commemorating the tragedy, and after the deaths ceased, public interest in it waned. One factor contributing to this was the pandemic's quick spread. And it killed people in one place abruptly before moving on, giving the impression that past epidemic outbreaks had previously affected populations, albeit in a very horrible way. Most individuals just did not have the chance to examine the consequences on a national or global scale, which is where the magnitude of the flu's toll is best understood. The virus also arrived after the most terrible war the world has ever seen, and because of this, many people tended to consider it as an accessory to the tragedy of the Great War rather than as a distinct psychological threat. Let us know in comments what you think about this tragedy. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you.